So my name is Andres Lepik, I'm the Director of the Architekturmuseum, and I welcome you all here for the Munich Exchange Intellectual and Creative Mobilities as a workshop, as a conference here in Munich at the TU Munich, connected to the exhibition opening that we had yesterday, which was a blast, amazing success. We had so many great responses from all over, and I think this conference today, the Munich Exchange, is an attempt with the online transmission to really connect the exhibition with the discoveries that the exhibition made through the workshops before, and to bring it back now into a format where we can discuss these results and experiences that came up through the preparation of the exhibition, and maybe transfer it also to another format for a future other exchange program, and maybe also to bring it back to the continent, to Africa in the next step, the exhibition, and maybe also continue with these exchange programs. So I'm very happy that this exhibition is up now, and we are very happy to have all of you now here in Munich, which is an honor for us that all these networks that we built up over the years now pay back, and then we have you here and see you. And now I want to stop with this kind of introduction as just saying hello and giving the word to Mpho Matsipa as the head of the curating process, of the intellectual process, and as the head of the conference today. Thank you for coming, and thank you for doing it.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for making it to the 5th floor at 9:30 on a Thursday morning. I know it wasn't easy, given the revelries of last night. As Andres very aptly pointed out, Munich Exchange is actually the 7th out of exchanges that I have coordinated with our curatorial team across the African continent and also in the diaspora. And one of the intentions for Munich Exchange was really to bring as many of our exhibition contributors together as possible, because the exchanges were very localized and very embedded in local networks of exchange, while also bringing in architects and thinkers and artists from elsewhere. So Munich Exchange is actually the first time that the largest number of exhibition contributors are all in the same room at the same time. And one of the things that Mabel Wilson pointed out to me yesterday evening was to really think about the African Mobilities exhibition as a provocation that different contributors can participate in. But for today, what I thought would also be really productive is to maybe think through three key questions that for me have been ongoing questions while working on the Mobilities project over the last year and a half. So our themes are divided into three. The first is cartographies, where we think about immobility as disruption. The second theme is other texts, identifying protagonists, narratives, and creative strategies for engaging with questions of mobility in Africa and the diaspora. And the third one is much more directed to questions of design, where we begin to think about design as critical intervention in the context of hypermobility in the 21st century. So for the first panel, I have the honor of introducing 5 incredible artists and scholars and provocateurs who have worked with me over several years, some over several years and some more recently, in really thinking through these questions around representation, mobility, and digital technology. And I'm going to introduce each speaker before they come and present their work for about 10 minutes before we have a slightly more extended conversation as a group. So this morning I have the pleasure of introducing Ikem Stanley Okoye, who is an associate professor of art history at the University of Delaware, who studied at both the Bartlett and MIT, born in Nigeria and grew up in the UK and currently lives in the United States, whose research interests largely center around early modernism in Africa. So for the purpose of this morning's panel discussion, we're really going to explore the idea of embodied experiences of mobility, and also how bodies experience space through motion, but also immobilization. And in this panel, what I hope we'll explore is how Black bodies in particular intersect with disruptive technologies, how they intersect with and are interpolated, but also disrupt technologies of surveillance and control. So please join me in welcoming Professor Mpho Matsipa.